creative block. The thing I hit July 23rd, 2018. That was my last upload. Hopefully that's about to change today. So yeah, July of 2018, things really hadn't changed that much. The political climate was starting to heat up. The pandemic hadn't happened. But the world was starting to get a little weird. And I took a break from YouTube because of the climate, because I ran out of ideas. And I just stepped away. I've still been filming in that time. I've done a couple weddings and had fun doing that. But this weekend kind of changed where I wanted to be and made me want to get back to doing this. See, this weekend, while not particularly bad, was interesting. It was a couple rough calls at work this weekend, being a police officer. We received news about my great aunt and the fact that she's doing worse with a medical condition. And as of Saturday, we weren't sure if she was going to make it through the weekend. By the end of the weekend, though, we actually had found out that she's probably going to be doing better, but she's still not out of the woods completely. And that just got me to thinking, what moments of life am I passing up? I mean, I try to live life mostly to the fullest. I try not to live with regrets, and if you've seen any of my old videos, you know that. But I realized giving up my videos was something I kind of missed doing. And honestly, what really brought it out was seeing that Casey Neistat and Joby microphones were doing a contest, and I got excited because Casey Neistat is probably one of my cinematography heroes. Not probably, he is one of my cinematography heroes, and it's good to see him back in New York. And for even the possibility of trying to partner with him, I'm willing to see what I can do. So I got to looking at my old content, and I realized I just wasn't happy with where it was. So what was my new concept for today's video? Well, my new concept for today's video and the content matter I wanted to cover was living my life behind the lens. Obviously, when I'm doing these videos in this format, I'm not behind the lens, I'm in front of it. But when I'm not filming for YouTube, I actually really enjoy filming just life events. Last weekend I was in Arrington, Virginia with my brother, and we went to an off-road expo for overlanding, and I did some footage. So life behind the lens for me is, it's a unique experience. When you film or photograph, which are both passions of mine, you experience events differently. You experience those events in a disconnected way because you're there, but you're seeing it happen, not being a part of it. So where I've had to balance my life is knowing when to take part of the events and when to film or video. The neat part of filming and video is the editing process, which I've really come to enjoy, because when you edit, you really get an intimate look into what your work is. You become a whole different level of connected to that situation. I graduated high school in 2002, and probably the anthem for my class was Green Day's Time of Your Life. For me, that song will transport me right back to my graduating year faster than anything else. There's a particular line in it. The part that resonates with me is, so take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang them on a shelf in good health and good times. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. In high school, there was a naivety that was fun sometimes, but I don't begrudge becoming an adult and seeing life from a different perspective. I enjoy more. I appreciate more. I appreciate the fragility of life. I appreciate every single moment you get. And for me, that's what being behind the lens is all about. Living behind the lens gives you a new view on the world. It gives you a moment to reflect. And this concept of living behind the lens reignited my passion for my previous project I was planning to do, which was the concept of navigating the human train. The human train was a military concept in the early 2000s that looked at the battlefield not just as a physical train, but the social sciences that make up culture. For me, there's a certain amount of passion for that because my degree was in sociology. So a little bit about how I came to enjoy life behind the lens. I don't remember a time I didn't have a camera of some type. I've had 110 millimeter, 35 millimeter digital. I got into video with my Nikon camera and a GoPro, and upgraded to this, which I currently still shoot on a Canon 80D. The nostalgia for it, I guess, probably stems from having a granddad who was always taking pictures when I was a kid, who always had a video camera. One of our funny family stories is of a time when my granddad had the camera on his shoulder. Back in the day, you had to have a light plugged in to have a light, and he was asking my grandmother to get the cord and so he could move further. My granddad's often joked about the fact that there won't be pictures or video of him, and that's not entirely true, but it's probably more true than anyone would like it to be. So this concept and getting to do videos like this is kind of fun, because when you're the person that is behind the lens, you actually get to have some content of yourself. and it's neat. It's really cool. So my mission, my goal for now is to get back into actually doing video, to get back to putting out content on YouTube. I want to get back to the concept of navigating the human terrain. Today's terrain is just dealing with the fact of living life, experiencing the moments, not taking it for granted, because you never know what life will hand you. But when you live each day without regret, you find balance living behind the lens and in front of it. You find time to be with your family. That's all you can ask for. Do the things you enjoy doing. For me, video is part of it. Photography is part of it. The editing process is part of it. Getting off-road, going camping, things like that. Most importantly, spending time with my wife and girls. Those are all the things that I really, really love to do.